When you begin to compose the colors in your illustration, you'll have to continually make adjustments to your choice of hue, value, and intensity in order to retain clarity. You want to pay attention to the colors you're choosing and make sure they interact with one another well. So let's take a look at how color can affect another color. It's important to remember that a color you decide to use in an illustration will always be affected by the colors around it. One color's hue might make another color's hue feel cool or too warm, and one color's value might make another color's value look too dark or too light. One color may intensify or diminish another color's intensity, etc. These are all things you need to keep in mind as you're working on an illustration, regardless if it's a simple illustration, kind of like the samples you see on screen now, or if it's a more complex illustration. These principles will always apply, and you just have to always kind of be governing them and make sure you're in control of it and you're getting the aesthetic results you want. Right now, when you look at the samples shown here, and we'll start with the top row, you have this ghost figure. Now, this ghost figure is colored gray. Now, the gray color of this ghost is exactly the same in the one shown on the far left. You can see that selected here. It's 45% tint to black. And then if we select the far right one, once again, it's 45% black. So it's the exact same gray from left to right on all the ghosts, but just because we're changing the background that gray falls on, you can see how the background color is affecting the color within it, in this case, the ghost figure. So on the left, the ghost appears darker on the white background, and as it moves to the right, all the way to the black, makes the gray look a lot lighter than it actually is shown on the far left. So it's an optical illusion of sorts, and this is how the color value can be changed just by whatever color it's sitting on. And this is specifically black and white. If we go to the row on the bottom, and you can see the moon and stars, they're like a golden yellow on a white background. And as it moves to the right, that golden yellow is becoming more intense. So if you look at the far right and it's on black, that yellow looks brighter and more intense than the yellow on the far left that sits on the white. Once again, it's kind of like an optical illusion. These are just two examples of how you can change the intensity and value of your color just by using other colors that surround it or in close proximity to it. Now we're going to switch to this tiki guy. Both of these tikis are colored using the exact same red color value. They're the exact same hue. But yet, when you look at it right now, the tiki looks darker and cooler on the light blue background. And then when you look at the tiki on the right, on a darker red background, the tiki looks lighter and warmer. So once again, color is playing a big part in how it relates to another color, and it's affecting its visual appearance. So if we switch to the next example here, this is a robot with the little planet floating by it. Both of these robots are colored using the exact same gray color, but the robot appears to be darker and kind of bluish gray on the yellow background and appears to be a lighter yellowish gray on the blue background. Once again, it's this optical illusion of how color affects other color and what you can achieve with that. Sometimes you can use this to your advantage, but other times, if you're not paying attention, it can affect how well your artwork is going to be read. Another example, both devils are colored using the exact same red color value, but the devil appears to be darker and cooler on the yellow background and appears to be lighter and slightly orange on the dark green background. And if you remember, by going over the color wheel, I showed you that red and green are complementary colors, and when you overlap them, you can get other aspects, in this case, turning the color to look more orange when it really isn't orange at all. And one of the last examples I want to show you is this one. Both snakes are colored using the exact same green color value, but the snake appears to be darker and bluer on the lighter yellow-green background and it appears to be lighter and greener on the dark violet background. So this is how you can leverage colors to associate with other colors and pull off. Most of the detailing in this effort is done by color theory, and it's being done in the viewer's eyes just because of the way the principles of light and color work, which is kind of cool. This is how optical illusions are pulled off most of the time. All these demonstrate, how a color's value can affect the intensity of another color and the appearance of its hue. So you can use these principles to emphasize or diminish elements in your illustrations when you set out to color them.